Hey everybody, this is Kelly K at Kelly K Guitar, and in this video we're going to take a look at 3 ways to improve your hammer-ons. Let's get into it. For those players who aren't quite sure what hammers or hammer-ons are, it's when you're on a single string and you're fretting a lower note or a lower numbered fret, and to initiate the next note, which would be higher in pitch or higher fret number, to activate it you would literally hammer on the next finger to get the note to sound. Simple explanation, but this apparently proves to be troublesome for many, so I've got 3 things that are going to help you to improve that aspect of your playing. Okay, so the first detail for good hammer-on technique is to have your fingers form a relaxed curl, meaning essentially that each finger is going to be bent at each consecutive knuckle. And when you bring that to the guitar, it should mean that the knuckle closest to your nail allows the very tip of your finger to contact the string. If your fingers are not quite as flat, not quite as arched, you're going to end up with more of the pad of your finger, which is going to be what strikes the string. And well, you can imagine if you're playing with a squishier part of your finger, we're trying to hammer, it's not going to end up so well. So make sure that with your knuckles bent, especially the one closest to your nail, keep them that way, and that's going to put your fingers in the optimal spot to do the hammer. And as a side note, if you're into economy of motion, this is the biggest tip I can give you for that. The more your fingers are arched, the closer they will be to the strings before you even play. Tip number 2 involves having the very tip of your finger very close to your nail as the exact contact point. So what I'm going to do to demonstrate is I'm actually going to hold down all 4 fingers on one string on respective frets. I'm going to press really, really hard, but what I'm going to do is show you the exact spot where you want to aim your hammers, and it's going to look something like this. See the grooves? Very close to the nail. Even the pinky's a little offset, but it's fairly close to the nail. That's the point that you want to make a deliberate attempt. When you drop your finger, that's the point you want to land on the string. And the idea is to memorize what that point feels like. So even though you won't see the very tip of your finger when you're playing or when you're practicing, it is very possible to recognize the feeling of exactly where that is. And the more self-aware and conscious you are of that feeling, the more your muscle memory will remember that exact point and will go for it every time. Okay, the third pointer here is one of the most crucial. This one I like to call light touch ninja quick. So the idea is that the notes you're fretting, you're going to initially start with, say, the 4th fret on the 3rd string. This is a B. I'm going to hammer C and eventually hammer D. Now when I hammer those notes, I'm not going to smash my finger down. Now I know that it's called a hammer, which sounds very aggressive, but you don't need that much force. What you do need is speed, meaning that when you do drop that note, as long as you need to articulate this note, when you do drop this one, it has to come down quick enough to sustain the vibration that the string already has, having just picked this note. So basically what you'll do is put your first finger on the 3rd string, 4th fret B. We're going to pick it. Middle finger is hovering directly above where you want your finger to go, right by the 5th fret C. What I'm going to do is lightly but quickly drop it. So notice the speed of my finger here. There's C, nice and loud. D with the pinky. And again, it's not a lot of force. I'm not hammering very hard at all, but I am hammering very quickly when I do initiate the note. So here we go again. B, hammer C, hammer D. With enough attention to detail and practice, these 3 tips should get your hammer-on singing nice and loud. Here's an example of what you're going to end up with in the end. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.